Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button and subscribe. Now, Anthony Joshua, he's probably resting with his family and friends right now. Epic heavyweight fight he was just in April 29th. I've watched it more than once. Great fight between him and Dr. Steelhammer, Vladimir Klitschko, right? It had everything you really wanted from a fight. Turmoil, action, dramatic ending. Now, the question is, was he exposed? Deontay Wilder, I did a video about it yesterday. He's calling Joshua out, but he's been calling him out for a while. And when you have a performance like that, even though it was good, you got the stoppage at the end, people think and see there's things within your fight game that they feel they could pick out. One of those fighters being another British fighter, a gypsy, the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. Now, the link is in the description. BritishBoxers.co.uk. They conducted a Tyson Fury exclusive interview, and he says he's going to fight Joshua in April after he fights on Billy Joe Saunders, I believe that's his cousin, on his card in July, and he's going to have a couple of tune-up fights, and then he'll be ready. And again, the link is in the description. I'm going to pull some quotes and then give my thoughts. Tyson Fury says, "I don't think this layoff will affect me. Vladimir Klitschko is 41 and was out 17 months and it didn't affect him, did it? He almost beat a big bodybuilder. I thought Joshua was getting knocked out in the 5th round. I was almost crying. I thought he was going to cost me 20 or 30 million quid. So I don't know if he's just joking or if he really bet on this particular fight. He says, I would have dropped a cannon of water on him to wake him up. Vladimir was trying to box cautiously as he usually is, and he ran out of steam. He's 41. It's a young man's game. If Klitschko wasn't 41, he would definitely beat him. But a win is a win. But 100% Vladimir would have beat him. My win over him was a lot better," meaning Tyson Fury's win over Klitschko. "A better boxing display. He never hit me, but he hit AJ with 1,000,000 punches and nearly knocked him out. He definitely did expose him. I hope his promoter, Eddie Hearn, protects Joshua because the first decent man he fights who is not 41 years old beats him. Deontay Wilder, Joseph Parker, any of these bums would beat him." So that's from the man Tyson Fury. This dude's funny. I like Tyson Fury. He's good for the heavyweight division. And he's saying he's going to come back. Billy Joe Saunders is most likely fighting the white Mike Tyson, Aventel Kurtitze, right? Who's training, I believe, with Danny Jacobs, his trainer Rozier, which is a good match for him. And I know some people that have sparred with Aventel. They said he's good. He's in shape, hits hard. But back to Tyson Fury. I like Tyson Fury. I want him to get his weight down so he can come back because he can box and he can put on a show in terms of the pre-fight build-up. He was, you know what I mean, kind of doing the Conor McGregor type stuff before Conor McGregor. But for whatever reason, it sounds like the gypsies don't get as much respect. People, I guess, liken them to like trailer trash, you know what I mean? The equivalent of what Americans feel is trailer trash, so they like look down upon the gypsies. I don't get it. I don't know, maybe it's a UK thing, but they just don't like the travelers, and that's why Tyson Fury went on this binge and he felt that there was a witch hunt and people were out to get him after he beat Klitschko. Like he shouldn't be the face of boxing. Anyway, there was a downward spiral. He got into some of the wrong things and he failed a drug test, had to relinquish his belts. Now he's on the comeback trail. So I want to know what you guys think. Anybody that fights Anthony Joshua that is not 41 like Vladimir Klitschko, do you think they will beat him? I told you guys, for me, Deontay Wilder certainly has a chance. Joseph Parker, he didn't look good in his last fight. He just fought and he fought a sparring partner, and I don't think he looked great in that particular fight. This was literally yesterday. Even Tyson Fury's cousin, Huey Fury, is saying the same thing. He's like, he didn't look good to me, right? Anybody that watched that fight, you'll notice Joseph Parker, he has some work to do. You know what I mean? As a new champion, you don't get in there with your sparring partner. He fought Razvan Kojanu, or whatever his name is, and he was fighting him at home, so he should be comfortable. And he's a new champion. And Kojanu has a record of 16-3 with only 19 KOs, and it wasn't a good performance. I don't know if anybody's watched it. I did catch it. It just wasn't a great performance. Kojanu was like, he was almost doing like a Malik Scott versus Luis King Kong Ortiz. He wasn't doing things that were going to get him to win the fight. Maybe he kicked it up a little bit towards the end, but he's doing enough to make you look bad. You know what I mean? Just like Malik Scott did to Luis King Kong Ortiz. And it's up to these fighters, these heavyweights, to figure something out so they don't even go in the distance with certain people. It plays spoiler because no one expected you to. You know what I mean? Even like Triple G versus Daniel Jacobs. I knew Jacobs had a shot, but the world didn't, and a lot of people gave him no shot. Said he was getting stretched early and often. You know what I mean? And that's really what it was. So guys go in the distance when they weren't supposed to. It plays spoiler. So I don't know if I agree with everything that Tyson Fury said, especially when he said Joseph Parker, any one of these bums would beat him. I don't know if Joseph Parker would beat Anthony Joshua. Joshua does, to me. They both have flaws, but Joshua has a bit more experience at a high level. I mean, he's fought Klitschko. I think Dillian White is another solid name that he's fought, right? And the guy that beat him in the amateurs. So I think experience and size would probably play a factor, because Kojanu was like 6'7.5", and although he wasn't winning the rounds, he was doing enough to, like I said, play spoiler. Joshua hits harder, and he's 6'6", so that would be something Joseph Parker would have to work on, and I think he just lacks the experience that Joshua has. You fight Klitschko, that's an expedited crash course, you know what I mean, in the university of boxing, because you guys that fight Mayweather, Klitschko's, veterans like that, Pacquiao's, that's your experience. That one fight gives you more experience than 3 journeymen or 5 journeymen or 10 journeymen. You know what I mean? So I don't agree with everything Tyson Fury said. Wilder, I think, versus Joshua is a great fight, and I definitely think Wilder has a shot. The other thing that Tyson Fury says that I don't know if I believe. I mean, he says he had a better boxing display, which obviously he did get hit less. I don't know how motivated Klitschko was. I think Klitschko losing to Tyson Fury, that did something, because he was doing the hashtag obsessed, and he seemed more focused. He looked like he was in even better shape and things like that, and he had a better game plan with Joshua. So I don't know if we could really compare the two fights, because I think part of what drove Klitschko to have a lot of success with Joshua was the fact that he had lost, and he wasn't anxious to take back-to-back losses, and he probably felt that this young kid, I sparred him before, there's vulnerabilities, I see ways to beat him, you know what I mean? So I think he was just super motivated for this fight. That's why he kept doing that hashtag obsessed thing. So I want to know what you guys think of this. Was Joshua indeed exposed? And I think the term exposed, it does get thrown around a lot, just because people always say exposed even when they win. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's hard, because exposed is a matter of perception. Exposed to you might be something different than what is to me. Like, to me, I thought Triple G versus Daniel Jacobs and Kell Brook, I thought Triple G was more exposed based on over Anthony Joshua, just me personally. And the reason I say that is because of what Abel Sanchez and what HBO has billed Triple G as. nobody can take his power, and nobody can really win around against him and stuff like that. And he was this boogeyman. And then a welterweight jumps up 2 divisions for whatever, God knows, whatever reason, and has some success with him. And like, it looks like he's rocking him with uppercuts. And then Daniel Jacobs, the very next fight, goes the distance. So it's really based on the whole exposed. And that situation, to me, is based on who Triple G has been tagged as, right? Anthony Joshua, I know Klitschko is the best person he's ever fought. And I know he's like a young champion. And I really feel like Joshua was thrown a title. You know what I mean? Like it was a title grab. He was put in a position where he could fight a guy who also had little experience and he was stronger than, and that was Charles Martin. Charles Martin hadn't really proved, he was undefeated, but he hadn't really proved that he could beat any of the top guys. You know what I mean? Could Charles Martin, even at that time, could he have beaten Deontay Wilder? Could he have beaten Tyson Fury, Klitschko? You know what I mean? We don't really know because he never fought them, but I mean, I wouldn't favor him to beat those guys at that time. So it was a great opportunity, and in Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, and Anthony Joshua, they seized the moment, it was smart. You know what I mean? And then I knew, but the bottom line of what I'm saying is he had to learn on the job and start getting it together and get his experience as he goes in, right? So that's just kind of my thoughts on the situation. I want to know from you guys, what do you think of Anthony Joshua being exposed according to Tyson Fury? Now, the other thing that I disagree with is his comparison to, he said Vladimir is 41 and was out 17 months and it didn't affect him, did it? He almost beat a big bodybuilder, which is true. You know what I mean? Those rounds 5 and 6 definitely scary for Anthony Joshua, but you can't compare yourself to Klitschko, who hasn't abused and punished his body even at age 41, you know what I mean, to my knowledge and to the public's knowledge. You can't compare that to you, who gained 350 plus pounds, and you self-admittedly were doing everything to kill yourself, and you were doing cocaine and binge drinking, and you say, oh, I just finished a workout, I'm about to go get a beer. You know what I'm saying? So that's different. So you can't compare your inactivity to that of Klitschko, who, to my knowledge, and I haven't heard any stories or seen any failed drug tests for cocaine or anything. You can't compare that, because what you do to your body when you're doing those sorts of things, that's more poisonous than, it's not just simply an inactivity in a dry spell. You know what I mean? Like Andre Ward or Mikey Garcia, to my knowledge, they weren't doing that stuff either. They weren't doing cocaine and all that. So you can't compare, oh, but Ward came back and fought Sullivan Barrera and he knocked him down, so it's not going to affect me, because Ward didn't jump up and weight in his off season and start weighing 219 pounds. He wasn't doing coke. You know what I mean? So that's a little bit different, and that's just my opinion. Or like what Tyson Fury said, because age ain't nothing but a number if you treat your body right. You know what I mean? If you're 41 but you're living and smarter, like even Cannon Briggs said it. Cannon Briggs is in some of the best shape of his career. There's times where he got too big, like in his career. If you guys really know him, he was like probably 300 something pounds, just huge. Pause. And Cannon Briggs said, like, he said, whatever age he is, he said, I'm 44 now, but I feel better than when I was 24, when I was 23. And he said, because I'm eating healthy, he goes to Whole Foods and stuff like that. So it's what you put into your body also. It's not just merely being on the sidelines. Klitschko was on the sidelines, but he was still training. I seen him because he was supposed to train for the Fury rematch. And like I said, he's not the one that failed the drug test. So you can't really compare your inactivity to his, especially when you ballooned up in weight. My thoughts, let me know what you guys think. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.